Hey, is this thing on? Lance, Nick, ready? Can you hear me? Welcome to the Live Free and Hunt podcast. All right, episode 19.
Baby.
Here we go. We talked to cameraman Chris. You've seen him on C-Bucks.
Realtree 365.
And, yeah, we just talked about filming.
Talked about the setup he has. He's running two cameras, so he gets in depth into that. Also gives out some tips.
Yeah, we went over some, just if anybody's trying to sell film or maybe wanted to film some hunts, some tactics, and some of the gear and whatever he uses. So, yeah, here we go.
Like a bad deck of cards that loves to lose. You don't listen to me, and I don't want you to, 'cause we sure have fun throwing my money away. You bet high, I bet low. You're all in and I'm all broke. Another paycheck down the drain.
Yeah, we're going to go over a filming podcast. Anybody that's trying to get into filming, whether it's filming your friend, your buddy, or whatever, or self-filming, this is going to be a podcast where we're going to go through some of the... We'll try to start off basic, and any questions that we have come in through Instagram or Facebook or wherever.
Try to get them answered for you.
Yeah, try to get answered. So,
but yeah, so Chris filmed for Realtree 365, C-Bucks. Check out that online. And also Whitetail Collective. And he's kind of been with a really good group of guys, tagging along with Brett Joy a lot, and soaking all that wealth of knowledge he has.
Absolutely.
Can we get into, so, like, I know you've been on the podcast before, and we already went over this, but just real quick, like, how you got into filming, and, like, how that all started for you. You just, like, reached out, or, like, how that happened?
Yeah, that's actually pretty much exactly what happened. I had been watching Brett and Ross, Midwest Whitetail, because they were on Midwest Whitetail years ago. All the guys that do the hunting public,
Yep.
Zach and Aaron, used to watch all of them. So that's kind of when I started like getting an interest, like watching them. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to film my own hunts. But I reached out to Brett probably, I think 2 or 3 years ago. And I was like, hey, I'd like to get into filming. If you're still doing it, cause I hadn't seen any, he hadn't really put out much content, within the past few years. But, he said that, he was, looking, and if I could, prove myself pretty much, like, hey, let's see your stuff. So I went out, I bought kind of a cheaper setup. And my buddy Braden and I actually went out that spring and filmed our turkey hunts. And then I sent all the footage to Brad, and I was like, hey, check this stuff out. And he thought it was pretty good. He definitely saw that I had an eye, but, there was still a lot more to work on. Through these past probably two and a half years, we've really nailed it. I definitely picked up everything that they've taught me, and now I'm here. Now we're filming.
How much hunting have you... Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bud. Sorry.
Say that again?
I said, so how many hunts have you actually been doing? Like, how much hunting have you been doing compared to filming?
Not much. I guess that's probably the worst part about it is you don't get to hunt as much as you were before. But I'm kind of looking at it as if,
get that shot on camera.
You got to put your time in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, it took Brett years to get where he is. Last year the series that we did with Realtree was like probably his biggest achievement to date is in the hunting industry, you know, being able to film something for Realtree and, you know, being on the big screen. So it took him, you know, what's he, 33? It probably took him 13 years to, you know, do something like that.
Yeah.
So for me to jump into something like this with the guys that I'm doing it with, I'm grateful.
Yeah, that's a giant opportunity.
It comes with sponsorships. You know, I get a lot of free stuff, which is cool. But I love filming too. And, you know, I do love hunting. It sucks. You know, I don't get to hunt as much, but, you know, I'm looking at the long run in it. You know, hopefully we can, you know, progress and build and get a lot bigger than we are right now. So
you guys are putting out some awesome shit. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Before we get into like technical and camera, whatever, I want to talk about, if possible, the Dakota hunt that you and Brett went on, and you were sitting in that cricket ass tree.
Oh, that tree was awful, dude.
Yeah, well, not the tree, but like, so when that buck came in, that he was like, he shot the one he ended up shooting. Like nobody was ready. And
no,
so watching the footage from like you had your pack and shit out, and like it's like I know that feeling. Like you're like,
should I be in the stand another couple minutes or what?
No, the feeling of like, oh shit, we just got caught off guard.
Yeah.
And seeing your face, like I'm so glad you guys had that camera angle, and we'll get into that. But like seeing your perspective on like what was going down real time, it's like you have it half your bag half packed, your mic's off, you're plugging your mic back in, you're doing all this shit. I mean, that was a pretty wild experience, I'm sure.
So, and he said this, and can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, you're good, dude. Why? Good. You all set?
Yeah. So the reason why we were going to get out was the thermals were actually, they were sucking our scent back down into the pond behind us. And then, you know, I think it got to that like 9:30 mark. And the thermal started kind of floating down into the little grassy patch below us. And one of the bucks, we had another shooter come in. We don't know if it was the same deer or not. He actually winded us or something. I think he winded us. And he took off. So we were like, okay, you know, it's the first day. It's opening morning. We have all week. Let's get out of here. And that was like such a beautiful spot, I gotta say. Like he said, he looked at it like because Brett went there like 3 weeks before we went out to South Dakota and found that scrape. So it was cool how that all happened. But he was like, yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh my god, it looks so good. It was just like this perfect, like you got the pond, this little flat, and then like just a bunch of draws that dumped in off alfalfa and these big fields. Yeah, it was money. So he dropped the bow down. I'm packing up my stuff, and he looks at me. He looks at me, and he's like, "Shoot her right here." I'm like, "Oh no," because like at the same time, I'm thinking in my head like, "Oh, like, you know, now I'm." And I want the footage to be good. Like, honestly, like that footage, it was good. Like he hit the scrape, that kind of made the footage.
Right.
But like, it wasn't my best footage. Like I actually got stuck. If you guys remember the footage, I got stuck on one side of the tree. I had to come around the other side.
Right. Yeah.
So it wasn't a nice, clean, you know, footage with the deer, unfortunately, but it is what it is. That's how it happens sometimes.
Yeah, no, I thought it was awesome.
You were just putting a mic away too. You're like, oh, you're about to slip that mic in there. You're like, whoa.
He pulled that bow all the way up. Well, that deer was at 30 yards closing.
Didn't even see it.
He didn't even see it. I was like, I don't know how. This is weird. I was like, I don't know how he can't see it. But he gets the bow up, dude, and like, no joke, I'm not exaggerating. The tree's like this. Dude. He's sitting like this. So he gets up, he draws his bow back, and I'm not joking. He's shaking this bad. And I'm sitting there and I'm laughing at him. He's like, after he shot him, he's like, dude, you're sitting here laughing at me. I was like, dude, I couldn't help to not laugh at you. Like, he was shaking so bad.
Yeah.
But it's because his weight was all on one leg because he was trying to pin it in between the tree and the stand to get a nice
Try to get a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy hunt, crazy morning. I don't think we put this in the video, but 2 nights after.
Oh no.
You broke up real quick, Chris.
He was. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. It all of a sudden said poor connection. Good. Sorry.
2 nights after that, so third day into the season in South Dakota, I was hunting, and we were sitting in alfalfa field, and we had just set up this blind, and I was like kind of on edge because I felt like the deer would be on edge if they saw the blind because it hadn't been there.
Wasn't sitting there for a little while.
Exactly, and we actually had a doe in this big buck, probably like a 160. It was actually the deer. It was the deer with the split G2s on Brett's story.
Okay.
He's coming in. He's at 30 yards behind the blind, and the wind is just kicking this way. And he takes like 3 steps to his left, and he gets downwind of us, and he's gone.
Shit.
Yeah, it sucks because he would have been probably at 30 yards or less. He was following that doe.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's that.
That's
Then we went to
awesome, dude.
Kentucky. We saw that big 170.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that huge deer.
It's a giant. Yeah.
He got killed.
Oh,
yeah,
he
he
did?
got killed. Yeah.
What now? Is that public land or is that private land? I'm just kind of curious. Shit, you broke
In
up there.
Kentucky.
Say
That's
that.
a private.
Oh, it's private.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. One of Brett's buddies leases that.
Nice. All right, man.
Yep.
You can break out into everything you got.
All right,
We
let's
can
do
get
it.
to the gear.
So pretty much, when we're hunting, if I'm with Brett, Ross, or even Jake down in Massachusetts, we're doing a hanging hunt. So, I guess probably 50% of the time, if I'm with Brett, most of the time actually he has one stand already there. So I'm carrying in my camera gear and I'm carrying in a Lone Wolf. Brett actually just got the new Lone Wolf custom gear. It's a 5-pound stand.
Holy shit.
It's unbelievable, dude. It's so light, and it's a game changer, and you don't even realize that it's that small. Like,
You pack it with sticks, I think, right?
well, if a stand's already hung, there's already sticks in a
there.
stand.
Oh, so okay, I see. That would be your stand that you'd be using. Okay,
Yep.
correct.
So I'm
Okay.
just carrying my stand in and my gear.
5
So-
pounds. Holy shit.
When I get up into the tree, I'll climb up first. I'll hang my stand. I'll get up in my stand. Brett, Ross, whoever, they'll climb up. And then this is kind of just like a system that we have.
Nope, good. Yep.
Brett will have the ratchet, and he can actually make this like dead silent as he's ratcheting it. So it's good. There's no clanking, no noise. So Brett will carry the ratchet, the shoulder, the micro muddy mount, and this little bow hanger for my second angle. So he'll carry those 4 components. So when we get up into the tree, he'll hand me the shoulder. I'll put the shoulder on. We'll ratchet it down. I'll get this screwed in, the micro mount on, and I have a strap on this second angle. And this is in my bag. So as we're going up the tree, I can be filming with this second angle because I have the strap on, so I can climb up. We don't have to send it up a rope.
Right. Yeah.
So this is around my neck, right? So we get this on the tree. I get this going. So now as he's getting set up, I'm getting some footage of us getting set up. This is rolling. Now I take this out of the pack. I get the arm in. I get all the mics set up. I give him his lav. I get the shotgun in. So this is pretty much the setup. This is exactly what we do. I actually just started doing this a few weeks ago. I saw a guy online, and then it was kind of Ross's idea too. But so obviously, you guys hopefully wear a harness. I wear a muddy harness. It comes with a lineman's rope. I bought an extra one, so this is for my harness if I were to have it on, right? And then I got another one. I'm just gonna take you over here real quick.
That's fine.
So this is kind of my view. So I bought another one, and I actually put a carabiner on all my packs.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's
So-
super
Yeah.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
that sits right here, and then I'd have my other lineman's rope here for my harness.
Correct.
I was always trying to find a spot to put my pack. So then I was finally like, you know what, this is perfect. Hang it off the back of the stand. You know, if
Yeah,
you think the deer
shit,
is
yeah.
coming in.
Especially if
It's
you have
perfect.
it half zipped, you can reach your hand in there if you need anything, batteries, whatever.
Right, exactly. My batteries are right here, so I can grab some fresh ones, and I'm good to go. But this is pretty much like, this is it right here. I have, you know, access to my second angle. I can start running that. Here's my main body. I guess I can go over some of the stuff that we use exactly. So this is the Sony A7S II. Sony has multiple different bodies, but so the S is for filming, your filming style, and then the R. This is an R. I guess, you know, if you wanted to, you could have two S's. I guess that would be
Yeah.
the best thing.
Yep.
But I have an R, so I can do pictures.
Higher resolution, correct?
Right, yeah. This is a 44 megapixel compared to the S. It's only a 12, I believe. So, yeah. So
12 megapixels, or is it?
yeah, it's 12.
Oh, no shit. Really?
Yeah, there's really not there. Yeah,
There's
it doesn't-
That's
Nothing
for
there.
filming. It's for filming, yeah. I was thinking it was maybe at least 24.
yeah. No, it's.
No,
I'm
no
pretty
shit.
sure it's 12. I'm almost 100%. So this audio adapter, this is actually a Sony product. Also goes right into the hot shoe on top of the body.
Yep.
You guys are familiar with that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then a Sony mic. Just started using these labs this year. I think it's Asden. Yeah, Asden Pro XR. So for people that don't know, like a lav mic is pretty much, you know, you have your shotgun audio that's going to get, you know, everything around you, all your ambient noise. But then your lav is for the hunter. So you get the nice, clean, crisp audio from the hunter. So this would be the receiver, and then the hunter would wear the transmitter, I believe. I hope that's the right way around. And then that's a wireless connection there. This audio adapter is really good. Never had any issues with it as far as audio. It's just really clean.
So, Chris, that audio adapter with a shotgun and the lav connects into, is that technically a mixer? As in, you could run multiple different things on that, you know, instead of, you could run, obviously, a shotgun camera. So you have two different audios coming in, two different channels coming in, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
channel 1.
And two, okay. And that's the most you can run is just two channels?
On this one, yeah.
Yes.
I think you can use other audio adapters that have plenty more.
4, I think, yeah, but I think your camera...
Yeah, so on the main camera, obviously, you know, if we're in the woods, you want something. Well, I guess if you're in the woods, you don't really need this, but say, like, you know, we're out in Alberta and we're in a field and, you know, you got to get out there. We're running a 28-300. This is a Canon lens, so we actually use an adapter. And then on the second angle, I actually just picked this up. This is the, it's a G Master. Oh, let me show you this. It's the G Master, so it's good quality glass from Sony. It's the 24 millimeter prime. It's a 1.4. Really sharp lens. I take all pictures with it. Yeah. It's a good astrophotography lens too, so you can get those nighttime shots.
Yep.
It has that very low f-stop. I use fourth arrow. I'm actually thinking about getting some type of configuration from fourth arrow for my second angle. Brett and Ross have been using the Muddy Micro mount for years, but actually discontinued this product, so they don't even make them anymore. But
You want something that's more mobile, just in case? Is that what you're thinking?
Not necessarily. I'm like fucking kind of a neat freak, and like I kind of want fourth arrow.
You
arrow.
want,
Yeah.
you want to look at?
I want that sticker.
So, I think, what do we got here? This is a Manfrotto fluid head.
Yeah.
I don't know if it says it on it. I don't know the exact. Oh, it does. So, for anyone that wants a solid fluid head,
We got cheap.
it's the MVH 500AH. We run these on all our arms, and I think I think it's about $150, and it's just a pretty solid fluid.
Yeah, solid head.
Yeah. Trying to think. On this main camera, I am running a cage.
Yeah, I was thinking about building a cage on.
It's kind of cool. You don't need it. If I wasn't running this cage, I would probably have this grip on. I kind of like the grip.
I run a bigger grip.
Yeah, I really like the grip. I know it makes it bulkier. One of Brett's biggest things is like we don't want to bring in what we don't need.
You're right.
Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
When you're going a mile or two up into the mountains, you want to have a somewhat lightweight setup, and that's why I think we run these Sonys, is because they're so small, they're so lightweight,
compact.
Yeah, they're compact.
What do you guys do for like if you have shit weather coming in or you're expecting bad weather,
rain?
Is there anything that you guys do for camera wise, or are you just like, all right, we're not doing it today?
Well, I've been in the tree where it's pouring rain or snowing, and I guess it's just a bag. Just put bags over your cameras. To a certain extent, these cameras can get a little wet.
Right.
They have a coating on them.
Right.
But obviously, you don't want to be sitting.
Get your mic wet. Get rain all up in that thing.
We've had mic short out because of rain.
Oh, I'm sure. This S actually has gotten pretty wet. We had a few issues with it, but it's been pretty good. And Brett actually dropped it off the truck while we were going 30. So,
holy smokes!
Yeah,
he's trying to get an angle. And
awesome.
Yeah, this would be a good one. We'll send it off the back of the truck.
Fucking send it.
I don't think he was recording. I actually wasn't there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you want to go over whatever questions you had? I think that pretty much seals the deal.
So before we get into those questions, for your like GoPro, what are you guys using for GoPros? Is it a GoPro?
We don't use a GoPro.
You don't.
What are those small cameras?
So we have two setups. So if I have to go film Jake in Massachusetts, this is what I have. I use my own camera with this lens.
Yeah.
So if I didn't have this setup and I was up filming Brett, he actually uses the Sony RXO2.
Oh, it's that small one. Yes.
Yeah, it looks exactly like a GoPro.
Okay.
It's actually, I think it's a little smaller. I think it might be half the size.
I thought it was a GoPro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually a Sony product, and it shoots in 4K, and it's actually the same menu setup as your Sony bodies.
Oh,
so it's like the same thing.
Right. Okay.
What do you think about them?
To be honest, all right. So
you can do more. You can do more with that other second angle camera than you could with that smaller GoPro. I mean, that smaller Sony product.
Yeah,
correct.
I think so. I'm not a fan of the RXO. He loves it because it's like little.
It's tiny. It's compact. Yeah. Throw it in the tree.
Yeah, that's why he likes it. This here, I get that last light. I get that 1.4 f-stop, or like maybe 2.8.
Let all that light
bump it up a little bit, and it gives you that like very creative look. Like, yeah. So for people that don't know much about filming, right? So your f-stops, like the higher number f-stops, everything's in focus. And the smaller your f-stop, like you have that more shallow depth of field.
Yes, correct. Yep.
So when that camera's looking down on that hunter, getting that second angle, him drawing the bow, like just this right here.
And that's all you see is him. That's all you see is him.
Yeah. Because everything behind him's so shallow, it's blurred out. You get that real creative look. So that's why I like this better than the RXO.
No shit.
And if that answers your question.
Yeah. No, definitely. Shit, I was gonna ask you something right before that freaking notification came. Had a notification come up. It was about your camera. All right, hang on a second. Okay, so your style of filming. What are some of like? I'm guessing Brett and you got your own. You both have your own ways of filming, correct? So they were very similar because I had always watched Midwest Whitetail, so
I don't know if you guys know Bill Winke, but
Heard of him?
you know,
Yep.
he had a very specific way that he wanted everything filmed. Like Brett showed me, you know, a piece of paper how, you know, opening interview, pans of your area, you know, interview of what just happened. There was a very descriptive timeline on it.
Totally set up. Whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna go in there and do the same things.
Yeah. So me watching that for years kind of put me in that already.
Yeah.
So I had already known like to do certain things, you know, as small as like how to funner when you're doing an interview, you know.
Right.
You know, it's just, I don't know. It's also, you can't really if you have a creative eye, I think that's one thing that Brett saw at first is, you know, the kid, you know, he's got it. He has an eye. He's very creative in what he does. I don't think you can really teach that.
No, you're right. Yeah,
No,
I definitely agree with that. It's definitely your own creativity. It's the way you form it.
I feel like when we got together, I was pretty much 60% of the way there, and then, you know, he taught me a lot more about, you know, I didn't know anything about ISO or your f-stop aperture. I didn't know anything about that, so, you know, he taught me all that stuff. That's how I know, because we don't run our cameras in manual. Nothing is in manual.
So go over a little bit of that. So when and also about that adapter. So since you run an not a Sony product lens on that camera, and you have an adapter for it, and that actually you don't get autofocus with that, correct?
Correct. I'm always using the Ring. Even we don't really use autofocus much, anyways. I don't really know why that is. I guess I do. I guess so. For instance, Buck's coming through the timber.
I'm just about
He's
to say,
100.
yeah.
It's because when you don't want it,
You zoom in and
does
it focuses on
Yeah.
the stick, and then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, zoom out.
Yeah.
Then it focuses. Okay, yeah, I'm good. Zoom in slow. Yeah.
It's not worth it. So on these cameras, you know, we have them set up where, you know, my button right here, I punch in, and it's a mag focus, so I can punch in on what I want to focus on and hit that focus quickly. You get so used to it that it's like, screw autofocus. You don't need it anyways.
right?
You want to get tighter to you go to the right. You want to back it up, you go to the left. Pretty self-explanatory. I guess we can go over this real quick. So for people, Brett tried to teach me this, and I had to research so much because things get so confusing. So I'm going to try to explain these three things like
The way you learned it.
best as not even how I learned it. I'm going to try to teach you guys in my own way, because I think it'll be quicker and easier for you to understand. So you got three things in a camera, right? When you're not running a manual. So you're running this camera 100%. It's all you. You got three things. You got shutter speed, you got your aperture or your f-stop, the same thing, and then you have your ISO. So your shutter speed, that's going to be like your motion blur in your picture. This isn't going to be something that you're really going to mess with in video very much. We film at 1/50th. That's going to be your shutter speed when you're filming. You're going to film at 1/50th. And when you get into that low light situation, to help you out a little bit, you can take down 30th, and you'll gain a little bit of exposure to help you get.
Repeat that one more time, Chris.
Last
You cut out real quick. Sorry. So just repeat that one last thing.
The 1/30th.
Yeah.
Okay, so last light, when you're running out of light and you want to get a little bit more light out of your camera, you can go to 1/30th. But you don't want to go any lower than that. So pretty much 1/50th to 1/30th. You know, in the morning when the sun's coming up, you can start your camera in 1/30th, and then, you know, 7 o'clock rolls around, you have light, put it back to 1/50th.
Yeah.
So that's shutter speed.
And
so
that's,
moving on.
And that's because of frame rates you're filming in, correct?
So I guess I can go over that too. So yeah, so we film at 24. A lot of people think, oh, like 60 frames
Yeah,
per
you gotta
second.
get fast. Yeah.
You don't need that. 24 frames per second is that cinematic look.
Yep.
It's what all, if you watch a movie in the theaters, they're all filmed
24.
in 24 or 30, sometimes even less than that. And then, when you see that really choppy slow motion, like, oh, that's kind of ugly.
Yeah.
It's because you're not filming in fast enough frame rates.
Okay.
So people think 60 frames per second is good for slow-mo. No. You need 120. A matter of fact, Brett's new camera, that Sony A7SII.
Oh, I know. That thing goes up.
240.
240. Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
So that is like super, like, nice, smooth,
Crisp.
slow motion.
Yeah.
So let's jump back on.
Okay,
so
sorry.
we
Yeah.
have shutter speed. So now we have your aperture or your f-stop. So what your f-stop is, it's like the eye in your camera. It's going to open and close, right? So do you want to let more light in or do you want to let less light in? So when you crank your f-stop up, every lens is different. It could go from 1.4 to 22. It could go to 3.5 to 22, whatever. But when you crank that f-stop up, you're going to get darker. So you're closing your iris, right? And then if you want to let more light in, so let me put this in a scenario. Say it's already dark out, right? You want to be on your lowest f-stop because you want to be letting in as much light as you can. And then on a really sunny day, you're walking through a field and you're like, oh, geez, this, like, I can't, this is way too bright. Pump your f-stop up. If you got to put it up to, 22, the highest it'll go.
Yeah.
That'll, let not as much light in and make your image darker. I think that's the best way I can describe f-stop.
You nailed it. Yeah.
And then your ISO. Your ISO is pretty much you making the image lighter or darker, kind of like the f-stop, but I guess kind of opposite. So, like, if your image is very dark, you can bump up your ISO. If your image is not dark at all, you're going to have it at a low ISO, if not any. And all these things, they work together,
Definitely.
If I have, so we start off in the morning, it's dark, it's just getting light. You're probably going to have a very low f-stop because you want to be letting in as much light as you can.
Yeah.
And you might have your ISO bumped up a little bit. It might be 500, 600 to, keep letting that light in, right? We're bumping up our ISO, so we're letting some light in, and we're bumping our f-stop down to let some light in. Versus midday, we're going to have our f-stop all the way up, and we're going to have our ISO all the way down. The f-stop all the way up is going to be closing the iris, making it darker, and then the ISO is going to be all the way down because we don't want to let more light in. We already have plenty of light. It's midday. I think that's kind of the best way to describe it and help people.
I could definitely follow along with that.
I could not find a video that literally just said
It
that.
tells you, yeah, right, yeah.
Like, I couldn't. It took me a long time to understand that. So I hope that I explained that well.
No, and I remember especially getting in DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. It's like you're looking for every little bit and piece you can find, but what the information you want isn't out there. Like the question you have is never the question they're answering on those videos. So you're always what the frig? So you go on to the next one.
There's so much. There's so much information on the internet. It's like there's too much. You can't find what you want.
Right.
And it also, the ISO, I think, the ISO in your it all depends on your camera too. Obviously, say I only have the Sony A7 II, so my ISO quality is going to be as good as that A7S II. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So obviously more cameras go up to different ISOs, higher ISOs, but
wait, say that again.
What?
Say that again. The question you just asked, say that again.
It was what question? It was just that all the cameras are different.
Your same.
Huh?
Your camera.
So my camera, since it has a, mine only think the A7 II only goes to 24,000. How high does that ISO go on that A7S II?
So this, yeah, you have the A7S II?
No, I just have the A7 II.
Okay, so this thing goes to like 400,000
yeah.
ISO.
So
it's different.
This
Different.
camera, I know years ago when this camera first came out, this was the low light camera.
Yeah, everyone
I can
raved
put this
about
thing on
that.
a tripod. I could put this thing on a tripod, look at a dark field, and I could light the whole field up.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, those cameras, and obviously when you get quality like that, you're asking more money. So
yeah,
it's what you can
but
afford.
It gets to a point, and I forgot to mention this about ISO. ISO is your graininess in your image.
Yeah.
So the higher your ISO, that more sparkle, starry look you're gonna get.
Yeah, it looks like
it
looks like static almost.
Static.
If you can see static.
This camera can get right down to last light here in New Hampshire, no doubt.
Yeah.
But anything after that, you're gonna start losing that quality in your image, and that's a big thing. You don't want shitty footage. So
I knew that going into the camera I bought, but shit, it was the only money I had to invest into something that I wanted that could do photography and filming. Filming. I think filming gets us by, and we're not as advanced as you guys are doing it, but we'd like to be at that stage some point in time.
That's a good thing to mention. I actually had a guy reach out to me the other day and say, "Hey, Chris, like, what do you think I need?" You guys probably know Neil Pendleton.
Yeah. Correct. Yep.
He's like, "Well, what do you think I need?" And I said, "Well, Neil, like, do you wanna film something and like do something with it, or you just want to film, just
a YouTube channel,
just
like
for you,
yeah,
or just for you to watch back?" And that was the thing that he had to answer himself. You don't need to go out and buy something like this. Just to give anyone numbers right now, this lens right here, this small lens, the 24 millimeters, G Master glass, $1,500.
Yeah, just for a lens, and then you got no zoom.
Right. And then the body, actually got a wicked good deal on it for $1,000, but it wasn't $1,000 when it came out. Right.
Correct.
You can get this A7R right now. I'd say probably $1,000 to $1,500.
Yeah.
So
I think you're right.
and then this little Rode mic, maybe it's what, $90.
Yep.
Is it 50?
I don't know what Rode mic that is. Is that just the micro mic? Is that the micro mic?
VideoMicro.
Nope, yeah. I think you're right. No, it's 7. Yeah, it's like, but it's $80, $90. Yeah, you're right.
Whatever it is, $3,000 in your second angle right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
just your second angle.
Yeah, and that's a second angle camera.
Right.
That ain't your main shooting camera.
Yeah, exactly. No, it adds up. So now.
But wait, there's more.
Your Canon 28 to 300. You're gonna spend probably. You could probably get this lens right now for $2,000.
But it's a push zoom too, correct? It's a push zoom. See, that's nice. You really? You're not a fan? So I have the 24 to 240. I think it was just like a decent, like, really that's kind of what all Sony had. But it's just like a kind of decent lens that, for what we're doing. You can get, wide angle if you really wanted to, or zoom in if you wanted to. That's really the only option.
I'll come right back to that.
Okay.
So then your A7S, you're probably going to pay another $1,500 for the body. It's probably actually gone down because the new model just came out. These Asden lav mics, not sure what Brett paid for them.
But they're not cheap.
You're probably looking at $150. If you guys want to get into a really nice set of lavs, look into Sennheiser. I think I probably said that wrong. Sennheiser, whatever.
Yeah,
I forget the ones we have. We got 2 different lav mics and a transmitter.
Rode makes a pretty good one. We have the Rode Mic Go.
The one that clips on. How do you like that? The wireless ones?
We don't mind them.
Yeah, I've heard. I saw good things. It was in between that and I think another thing I bought.
They're small. And then lastly, your audio adapter here. This is probably $650.
Yeah.
And it does come with the shotgun, like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the 80. Yeah. Sweet.
Thanks for adding that in.
Yeah. All right.
Comes with the
So-
shotgun.
So, you're up there, but, we're, I guess not to sound like a dink, but we're like kind of next level. We're filming for some companies.
Yeah.
What? So
you're
you have
putting
to
out-
be.
Well, you're putting out
Good quality shit.
quality shit that's gonna be. I mean, you
The
put
world's
your,
gonna
you
see.
can put your shit next to Meat Eater on Netflix, and it's side by side the quality of the footage.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be like that, but
never
you
mi-
guys are in a different,
Never mind your camera arm. That's probably what $100 and something bucks. And you got the $150 fluid mount, which you
And
can.
I will say, so the fluid head is, I think, 150, and then this is probably 200 with the shoulder. And I will say, Fourth Arrow, we do a lot of work with them because we have multiple setups, we have multiple arms.
right?
They're truly a phenomenal company. They're actually like very responsive. When you call them, this is a brand new arm. It got here last Friday. I called them on a Tuesday. I said, hey, my arm bent. The weld seems fucked up on it. Can you get me out a new arm? Oh, I'm also missing another little piece. Brett was missing this little screw in here.
Yeah, tighten it up. Yeah.
They sent it out. It was here on Friday. Like,
No
they're
shit.
just,
Good.
they're
deal.
really good.
Yeah.
So it's a great company to work with. I think they're just, when you have that good customer service, that's like a thumbs up.
Hell yeah.
And they just came out with a 3.0 shoulder. I'm going to be definitely buying that because this thing is rather bulky. Their new shoulder is tight to the tree, and it's got a little bit of a connection here. The other big thing is to get this level, I have a tool in my backpack that I have to use. And the new shoulder totally erases the tool. There's no
So
more
it's
tool.
it's like a quick, like a wing nut style that you just loosen up, adjust, and tighten, I'm guessing.
I haven't looked into it too much. I've just seen some pictures. I saw some people already had it. I thought it was on pre-order. I'm going to have to check that out. I just haven't had time doing a million things. I actually just noticed that my headache's gone, so that's good. I've been under the weather.
Yeah.
So,
All of us. Lance had it. I had it. I still have it. You got it. It's just a cold, man.
Yeah, I know.
well, I'm glad it's not Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit. I think everyone is. But no, that was.
That's the setup, though, dude. That's pretty much it. This is what we drag into the woods every single time that we hunt.
What are you packing in all that stuff? Is it a backpack? What do you got for like just your?
Yeah, so this thing, no joke. I know it looks small.
Was that the low pro? I got the low pro. I got a smaller one than that though.
This is the low pro. So this is, I can put my arm on the side,
And clip it in. Yep. Nice.
flip it in, so you don't get any clanking. I actually don't have any of this stuff hockey taped. I know the guys really want me to have it hockey taped. It really takes away. Like, look at this.
Yeah. No
just
shit. Yeah. You
the
can
bounce.
just.
Yeah.
So
Anything.
it can be pretty loud. I've actually had these in the whole time. I didn't realize it. So I always wear these. Sorry, I got a message coming in. I was trying to read it.
You're good.
Always monitoring the audio because you just never know, and you don't want to fucking go back and be like, oh shit, like that wasn't even on or whatever.
So your
Done that.
your connector. So do you adjust your audio on that shotgun and like I'm gonna call it a mixer again, but hello. No, but do you monitor your audio on that like mixer, or do you monitor the audio on the camera alone?
I'll show you right now.
I'll go check on the kids real quick.
Yep. Go ahead.
So, right here is all your controls for your audio.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Yep.
You got channel 1 and 2, and that's going to be depending on where you put your lav or your shotgun. So you
Correct.
just have to see, if you put your lav in channel 1, then you need to adjust channel 1 for that specifically.
Oh, okay. All right. And so I guess I'll get into a couple of questions. So say you're starting off just like you were, and say you didn't have that setup, that main camera. What do you think you would get for a lens? Obviously, you got the R. So what would you get for a lens, I would say, to really start yourself off?
I've always been the type of person that, like, if you're gonna do something, dude, just spend the good money for it.
Especially on glass. Glass is kind of it is kind of important, but
Right. So I just feel like if you're gonna film, dude, just go
go in.
Like, don't. I just don't like. I get it. Maybe some people will just go buy a handy cam and then so they can watch their hunts back. Like, that's cool. But if you're gonna go like into it, like, just get into it. Go all in and get what you need. I'm trying to think. Brett has another lens. I think it's a.
Oh, it's a 70 by 300.
No, I'm trying to think. I think it's a 28 to 200.
Yes,
24 to 200.
I think you're right. They do make a lens that's 28 to 200.
And it's a.
Yeah.
It's not a push pull. It's
yeah.
It's a twist.
Yeah.
Which I said I was going to come back to that. If you're on it, obviously you see a lot in our footage. If you watch it, I'm always like this.
Yeah.
Right? You can see that. It's not smooth. It's never going to be smooth. You're never, ever, like...
Yeah, coming in, yeah, it sticks every now and then.
Never going to be smooth.
Yeah.
So I just blast right into it
and then you
try
kind
to
of,
get over.
yeah.
But that's the other thing is with the twist, if you have a twist, what do they call that? What am I?
Yeah, no, word? I know what you're talking. I can't think of it at the top of my head. Yeah.
If this lens wasn't a push pull, it was a twist.
Yeah.
Dude, I could get way better for it.
Yeah, it's just more steady, you think?
Yeah, I just think it would just be way more steadier, way more clean. But sorry, what was your question? So
pretty much if you were starting into doing this, you're by yourself, you want to kind of start putting content out. You got your Sony R, and you wanted a first time lens. What do you think you would pick up?
I don't know how much battery you have left on that thing.
I don't just only because I don't have much experience with a bunch of different lenses.
Right.
I don't know.
Right, you're right, because it's like, I remember when I was looking to buy a lens, you were doing all the research. What's this got? What's this got? What's the difference between these two? Why is this one a little bit better? Why is this one more expensive?
You can go, maybe go with a more off-brand name. I think, I don't know if Tameron's cheaper, but I think
Tamron is cheaper. Yeah.
So they're a little cheaper, and I think they make decent glass. You want something that has that low f-stop, so Sigma, you can, you can get into those low light situations.
I think that's the biggest key right there. I know a lot of us, especially going with these, is that we're going to look at zoom, obviously, because no one wants to try to pick out a deer at 24 millimeters, you know what I mean? Or 50.
Right.
But
you need something that gets out there.
But the f-stop, big thing, just to let that light come in, especially, who knows what camera everyone is running, but that f-stop's just a big thing.
And, like, if you look at lenses, so, for instance, let me find it. Well, I thought it did say it. I guess maybe it doesn't. But so when I'm zoomed all the way out on this, it's a 3.5. And when I'm zoomed all the way in, it's a 5.6. So your f-stop's going to change depending on your focal
correct. Yep.
Your
focal length, right. Like my my 24 to 240, it's 3.0, and then I think right as you get to like 50 or 60, I can't remember honestly, but it shoots right to 6, and then 6 up.
One thing I've been doing this year is, I think one of the toughest things is to nail a pan. And for those of you that don't,
smooth.
Yeah, what a pan is it's pretty much footage of you going like this of where you're hunting. And I started doing this. It makes it a lot easier for me, so I'm gonna loosen up that. I started going like this. Don't touch the camera at all. This is just like a quick little tip. I just thought of it. Don't touch the camera at all. Hit record, start running, right?
And you pretty much just turn the fluid head yourself.
Yes. Just very nice and easy.
And smooth.
You don't realize when you get this thing on a TV, it's a lot bigger. It's like, oh shit, it's like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
I
know that. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden your arm bumps the tree, like, oh shit.
You're in the tree, you're like, damn, smooth. And it's on TV, it's like.
Yeah.
So that's just a quick little tip.
No, that's awesome, dude. I know we kind of touched base a little bit about 1080p versus 4K. You guys shoot in 1080 or do you guys shoot 4?
We shoot everything in 4K.
Everything in 4K.
Yeah, everything in 4K. So, good thing about 4K is, so did you guys watch the Curly Hunt with Ross and I?
Yeah. Yep.
That's one of my favorite videos on planet Earth. I think that really shows people don't understand how hard it is to kill a mature deer here.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, it's tough.
Like they don't get it. I know, and I'm happy for people that kill big bucks in Iowa. Like I'm happy for you, but it doesn't.
It's different. Yeah, it hits different when it's home or New Hampshire or Maine, Vermont.
So that footage is actually in 1080. That deer was so far. I had this lens. I was all the way out to 300, and it actually scared the shit out of me because I couldn't see the deer in the LCD. A big thing, if you guys here, I'll finish what I was saying, then I'll come back to that. Anyways, I was filming in 4K, but John, who produces like edits and everything, he could crop in to 1080,
80, right?
And you're a lot closer to the deer, so you had that really nice footage. So that's the good thing about 4K is you can crop in and still have good quality footage. You can't really tell.
No, that's a good point too. I've seen
Seen a lot of comparison videos like 4K, 1080, or 1080 to 720.
Right.
It's very hard to tell. What was I saying? Okay, so big thing. When you're in the woods and you can't find the deer or whatever you're trying to find, right? I look for stuff that pops out. So when that deer was coming across that swamp, he was bumping does, so they were all running just through the timber. And then I knew the opening he was going to kill him in. So I got to that opening. I punched in with my focus. I hit focus to that opening. I could not see the deer in the LCD. And when he said to me, "Are you?" I knew I had to say yes, or he wasn't going to be able to shoot the deer.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing I could see the deer with my eyes. I just couldn't see him in the LCD. But I remember seeing a white birch tree in the right side of my frame. And the deer was to the left of that white birch tree. So I told myself, I can see the white birch tree in my LCD.
He's going to be there. Right.
Yes. Kill him.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
And I don't know if you guys noticed this. They make fun of me to this day. After he shot him, I said, "Was it a shooter?" Obviously, it was a shooter, right?
No, just a spike. Smoked him.
Yeah, they make fun of me to this day. So
that's funny.
I got something to touch back on that we were talking about. You said you don't shoot anything in manual. So
right.
what do you guys do? How's that set up? You're obviously the only setup you're kind of messing with throughout the day is your ISO and your aperture, correct? Is that all you're doing different? Okay.
Correct. That's pretty much all. So
I know
on both cameras. Sorry, you were breaking up a little bit. Go ahead.
No, sorry. So on those two cameras, I know you have that dial that you got movie mode, you got program,
Correct.
manual. Yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to see.
So this dial right here.
Correct.
You're gonna pretty much. So we have these cameras set up already for us. And it makes it a lot easier. So I know on this S, when you're on one is going to be shooting in 24 frames. Everything's already set up. You're at 1/50th. Your ISO is all the way down. Your f-stop's all the way down. It's ready to go. 2 on this camera. So you spin the dial to 2. That's going to get you to 120. So that's going to be your slow-mo footage. So I know now.
I forgot you could program those. Yeah.
Yeah, I got my 24 frames on 1, and I got my 120 frames on 2.
So it's a flip of a switch.
Yeah.
You can just
It's easy. Deer comes in, I get a little bit of slow mo with them. I spin it back to 1. I get a little bit at 24.
Don't forget about it, because if you leave it on 2, you're gonna get in trouble.
Also, with your filming in 120, it actually is cropped in a little further. So if a deer's wicked far out, I'll throw it on 2. And crop way in, so I can get a bit of footage. And yeah, it's at a higher frame rate, so whatever, but at least I can get a little tighter if the deer is way out.
Way out. That's a good point.
On this camera, the R, I have my one setup for pictures. So pictures is a lot different because your shutter speed really doesn't matter as much. Your shutter speed when it comes to pictures is going to be obviously your shutter. It's how long your shutter's open.
It's either for movement. If you got something running, you're going to have a higher shutter speed. If it's more of a still, you're going to have a lower shutter speed.
You know, if you're trying to take a picture and you got a water droplet dripping off a tree,
right,
you're going to crank your, shutter all the way up to 8,000.
Get it crisp.
And you'll get that crisp shot of it falling off. But that's like a whole nother
That's
ball
photography.
Yeah. So on this camera, I got one for my photos, trophy photos. When I'm in the tree, I can take pictures with this. It comes off this micro mount wicked easy, so I can take pictures. Big thing for me is I need to take more pictures. Like, I forget to take pictures.
No, we do that.
We
all
do
the time.
too.
Yeah.
I'm always got my camera, and I'm more like we're always getting into it.
I've seen some of your pictures too. They're
Yeah,
killer.
dude, they come out dope.
What'd you say?
Some of your pictures, even before I think we even had our first podcast with you guys. So I mean, your pictures doing if you're fly fishing, if you're doing whatever.
Yes, exactly.
Like, some of your pictures are sick.
Yeah, I had to restart my Instagram. I was getting
I saw that.
messages and shit, so I reset, and that's the one I'll be sticking with now. But and then just to top this off, so 1 is for pictures, and then 2 is for my video. Remember that this camera can film very fine, but it's not the S, it's the R. So we're just filming at 24 frames. This isn't gonna get you into low light like this camera is, but the 1.4 does help a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That was really kind of all the questions. It was.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Just throw it out there. We touched base a little bit. If someone was gonna, no one likes self-filming. I know, no one likes.
We talked about it right before we started recording this.
No, self-filming sucks. But if someone was gonna go and try to self-film, or maybe they had a buddy that was gonna film for them.
You need a buddy.
What are I know? Yeah, no.
We learned that.
Yeah, it sucks. You can't do it.
I don't have a buddy that can film me.
Right, yeah. So
Sucks.
what do people, if someone just wanted to do videos for like their friends and family, what do you think is give me 3 of your most important things that you need to do if you're going to pick up a camera and film a hunt? If it's going to be out of a stand, or if it's going to be on the ground, or however you want to put it. Say, all right, we'll do it in the stand. So we got 2 people in the stand, and you have a buddy filming.
I thought it was self-filming.
Self-filming. Okay, we'll do self-filming. We'll do that. We'll start there. If you're going to self-film,
Yeah.
what are the 3 things that you think you absolutely need to have or do if you're going to try to film a story or film your hunt?
So, actually, Brett said to me the other day, he said, if you want to self-film yourself, you can. But I'm only telling you that because I think you're the only one that could do it in a quality manner.
Yeah.
And I definitely do think I could self-film at a very high level. I think I could. But it's a pain in the ass,
That
dude.
sucks, yeah.
I guess, so I guess I really didn't understand the question 100%. I hope I'm getting it. So if I'm going to try to self-film, I still think that I need this exact setup. I guess if you were to lose one thing, you could lose the main camera and set up the audio adapter to this, like over the top of you.
Yep. Okay, that's a good
You
point.
still have your audio. You can still do your interviews, but you're not going to have the deer. You need this because you need to film the deer die.
Yeah. Well,
Like, people want to see the deer die.
They want to see
they
the
do.
shot.
They do want to see it.
shot.
They don't want to see all the bullshit that,
Yeah.
the 18 hunts you guys went on before that deer died. They want.
Right.
But I think too, if you're going to be self-filming, maybe step away from the DSLRs and maybe go with more of a video camera, kind of what we were talking about, Chris. Like you had at the beginning, was just that video camera where you can zoom, leave it in autofocus, I guess, and hopefully it picks it up.
Yeah. I think you went away. I was talking to Lance. Like I was saying, like, if you're going to film, I really think you should just go all out.
Yeah.
Because it's already a pain in the ass. Like, whatever. If it's going to be a pain in the ass, you might as well do and a high quality.
Right? Yeah, mine's be a high quality
film
pain in the
some
ass.
pain in the ass.
Honestly, I mean, so the other day I got in the stand with Ross. We were up in the mountains, and I posted on my story, dude. We were in the stand for 2 hours, and the wind just was shit. And
Wasn't
we're like,
right, yeah.
Out. So we got out. It sucked. We went up in there. We brought all this shit. I filmed a bunch of stuff.
Pack it back out. Let's go.
It is what it is, right? But
real quick before I think we're almost at our time limit here.
Keep going.
Like storyline wise, how does that play out, or like what have you learned? I know that doesn't have so much to do with filming, but like how does that? What have you learned about trying to like make a storyline if you're going to try to make either just an episode or make a season out of something?
So I think what
like pre-interviews, like do you do it every time? Do you go over like what do you talk about?
Yeah. You gotta do the same thing every single time because you don't know when it's gonna happen.
Right. I don't feel like doing an interview this morning. Then all of a sudden it happens.
Yeah, well,
then you got no story.
That's my point. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the shittiest thing is there's probably thousands of gigabytes of footage you guys have never even seen.
Right. Oh, I believe it.
I believe
just
it. Just
the small shit that we do. I'm like, I can't believe it. I couldn't even imagine on your guys' level.
Yeah. I actually told John I'd really like to see like I think it would be better for you guys, for the viewers, like 5 to 6 minute videos on like updates, like just like one sit, just like what's happening.
Yeah, nothing happened, but we're here.
Hey, we're going after this buck. Yeah,
right.
Whatever.
I think people would like that. But at the same time, some people don't understand what it is up here. They just want to see it.
They just want to see it, yeah.
So
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think, something me and Tyler talk about all the time is especially to kind of because we have to do the editing too, so it's like it's hard for us to kind of create the story at the beginning when you play it out, you do your intro, whatever. But another thing is almost write down stuff. Maybe the night before, write down write down an intro. Then
it's just a checklist that you're talking about.
Yes, certain checklist of stuff you would like to get.
So do you want to know my checklist?
Yeah, no, go right into it. Yeah.
All right, so pretty much. Hold on a second.
I'm talking about filming too. Like, we do, like you were talking about how you watched, what's his name? Winkle.
Bill Winkle, yeah.
Bill Winkle. So he had a checklist.
Oh,
he said, Bill Winkle. So it was like, intro.
Not Bull Winkle.
What? Bill?
He said, no, Bull Winkle.
Not the old moose, but, yeah, so do your intro. Then you do, get some scanning shots, then some hunter shots, and you know what I'm saying?
That's pretty much it. So, like I said, I have this around my neck, and this is in the pack.
Correct.
So, the second I get to, whoever's house or we meet at a spot, I'm rolling. What day is it? We're going to do a little interview. What are we doing right now? Where are we going?
Okay.
We did a hunt 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was last weekend. We left Ross's house. We went to this pond. We drove across the pond in the boat. Like I'm filming that whole time, fucking freezing, dude.
Your hands are frozen.
And I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, we're not even gonna kill shit.
Yeah, we're just doing this. Yeah.
But you gotta film the whole way. Like I said, you have to, because you don't know when it's gonna happen.
Right.
Because if it happened that day, I had nasty footage.
Right. Yeah, because if it actually happens, then like, what do you do with it? It's like, okay, here's the kill shot, and that's all you got.
And you can't. It's very hard to recreate. People don't understand that.
Oh shit! Yeah.
It's hard to recreate. For instance, we had snow on the ground, so the next day the snow could have been gone. So
you definitely can't go in there and do some B-roll shit because it's not the same.
You can't do it. So here's my checklist when we get into the stand. So pretty much, like I said, I climb up first, so I'm getting him climbing up. I'm getting this on the second angle. I'm getting him setting up. We're going to get our opening interview. Then I'm going to get a bunch of like nice detailed, crisp shit, like close up. And then, you know, if something happens, like a deer comes by, a bird, whatever, film that. If something happens that's significant, we're going to do an interview at, you know, what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's something.
Last weekend, actually, we had 3 does come through. They blew at us because they saw me moving in the tree. We looked back where there was doe standing there. I'm like, oh, shit. So she saw us moving. They came back through. A spike was chasing them. So, no, you know, you're filming that. You're doing an interview. You're explaining what just happened. And as things progress, like the sun's coming up, I'm getting all that. It's always on my mind. I'm just trying to capture that moment there.
Capture the day. Right.
That's it. I'm just capturing everything so that, you know, whoever's watching that knows and like feels like they're there. They get that. That's area.
Great, dude. I think that's something too, you know, I needed to hear too, or just kind of
rehear.
Yeah, rehear. Not
because you hear it like, oh, it's 30 to 32 degrees out and it's kind of windy. But then if the footage doesn't show 32 degrees and kind of windy, then no one fucking knows.
Kind of weird. I remember this specific video from Midwest Whitetail. I forget the guy's name, but they were always hunting the skinny pinch. And they always, I don't know, I just loved their footage. They always did a good job. I felt like I was there. It was fun to watch. And I watched that video like over 100 times. It was awesome. I don't know what it was.
Man, that guy could shoot that deer next time you watch it. God, he's good. Just every time.
I don't know what it was, but I just try to capture it all and just shoot good stuff.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing a hell of a job, man.
Yeah, dude. Before we wrap this up, I want you to kind of tell everyone what you got going on. I kind of did a shitty job explaining it, but tell everyone what you got going on and where they can reach you. Even if people have questions for you, they can reach out.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind? Okay, sweet.
Yeah. So it's on your Instagram, my exact handle. I will say it. I just don't want to confuse anyone.
Yeah.
It's underscore camera underscore man underscore Chris underscore. And that's my Instagram handle. So this year, we didn't do a season 2 of Realtree Sea-Bucks. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. But we are doing our own thing. I think what we're going to try to do is build our YouTube channel. John's kind of has 3 things going on. He's doing a bunch of waterfowl stuff. If you guys like waterfowl,
I've been watching a little bit of New York stuff they got been going on.
I couldn't give a shit if a bird died, a duck. No, I know they're doing it at a high level. High quality, you know, they're good at.
Dude, that takes a lot of work. That's field hunting.
Too,
oh my god!
I don't get into waterfowl, but check that out. If you're into waterfowl, dude, they're killing it. So
where would they find that on YouTube? So what's the page on YouTube?
The YouTube channel is Just Hunt Club, and that's where Whitetail Collective is going to be. There's going to be some stuff coming out. Jacob Bennett in Massachusetts shot a buck a week and a half ago. That video is going to be coming out. An old buck. And then just your regular updates like we have been putting out.
Nice.
To keep people in the loop. Also, a new friend of mine, Eric Hansen, I've been chatting with him a ton. He just shot a big buck in New York, a really, really good one, maybe like a 150, 60, 8-pointer.
Nice. New York,
Damn.
that's hot, yeah.
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah, Brett was telling me he kills giants, so that video will be coming out. That's a really good deer. Actually, that's the one I posted on my story. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, no, I did notice that, but I
don't know if I saw it.
I always like, you look for it and you're like, fuck, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, we got some kills coming out, so that's for sure. And we're just we're really getting into November here. I know we've talked about it before, but I think within the next few days, it's really going to start kicking off in the mountains. From that November 15th period to the end of the month seems to be really good action.
And
so,
what I was surprised with this past weekend and, you know, the warm weather we had, people were still shooting huge deer. Like it didn't. I had one friend. He shot a 220-pound buck, big 8. That deer was huge, and I'd just been seeing
Kevin
Harris
Harrison.
with
Kevin
Big Woods
Harrison
bucks. He
and,
shot a pig this morning, huge deer. But if you look at Barry's Baits, have you ever heard of Barry's Baits? It's in New Durham, right behind. No. They moved. They're behind Johnson's now. Just to throw that out there, I know you fish Winnie, so he sells baits and all that shit. But he has a Facebook page, and he's a registered station now. So he's always,
right behind Johnson's.
Yeah, he's always posting picture of deer that have been killed in New Hampshire.
Bunch of studs, bunch of good deer,
huge deer. A lot of big deer have been killed this year.
And it's only muzzleloader. I mean, these deer are big.
That got killed in Grafton County.
Oh, 270? Oh, my God.
It's a giant.
Then I want to say there was another one killed up in... Oh, no. No, I forget where that other one was. But...
That was a mean buck, but... For New Hampshire, 270?
Yeah.
270?
That's a big fucking deer.
Right.
Holy shit.
That's giant.
Especially muzzleloader. You know, I could see that. Definitely. But he hasn't been moving much.
Yeah, hopefully I... showed everyone and explained a few things.
No, if definitely, dude.
Go ahead. I'll answer any questions. I like to be able to teach people. So
yeah.
No, we'll definitely. And if you want, we can do podcasts. Next year or something. We can figure out something to talk about again. So we always enjoy having you guys on. So it's sweet.
Absolutely.
Well, appreciate it, man.
Sounds good, dude.
All right. Have a good week at work.
Good luck out there, man.
Yeah, you too.
Good luck at work.
Have a good one, guys.
We'll see ya.
Yeah, baby, when we're together, it's like Vegas times 3. But in the morning, I'll know better. You're so bad for me. Just like a sip of wine leaves me to drink. You're my gateway drug. I'm starting to think it's gonna take much more than just 12 steps. So call Betty Ford, call Dr. Drew. Save me a bed, cause in a month or 2 I wanna quit you, girl. Just not yet. Yeah, baby, when we're together, you're the only drug I need. But in the morning I'll know better. You're so bad for me. Barreling down the road past these city lights, you got your hands on the wheel, a look in your eye. I ask myself, is it time to slow down? But the night's still young, we're full of gas. Credit cards in my pocket with some limit left. And we got friends in the next town. Yeah, baby, when we're together, it's like Vegas times 3. But in the morning I'll know better. Cause you're so bad for me. Yeah, oh baby, when we're together, it's like Vegas times 3. But in the morning I'll know better. Cause you're so bad for me. Oh, cause you're so bad for me. Cause you're so bad for me. So bad.